So, good evening, everyone. I'm Rakhi Yadav, your PMRF teaching assistant for Reagents in Organic Synthesis course, which is conducted by NPTEL and whose course instructor is Professor Subhash Chandrapan from IIT Guwahati. So, students, in this week, till we have reached to week 5, in today's class, we are going to cover problems based on reagents which are based on lithium, magnesium, sodium, and boron. Right. So, if I have to give you brief recap of previous year, not previous year, previous weeks, we have started our journey with oxidizing agents, right? Oxidizing agents mainly based on chromium, PCC, PDC, chromyl chloride, yes or no? And then students in week 2 we have covered other oxidizing agents such as ferric ammonium nitrate, DDQ, right? Okay. So what I was discussing that in week 1 student we have covered oxidizing agents covering chromium based reagents starting from chromic acid CrO3H2SO4, other ways to form that K2Cr2O7 plus H2SO4 and Na2Cr2O7 plus H2SO4. Okay. Then comes Collins reagent, CrO3 in pyridine. Then comes PCC. And in PDC, there were two factors. PDC in DMF gives you acid, and PDC in DECM gives you aldehyde. Similarly, PCC also gives you aldehyde. Then we moved on to other oxidizing agents such as ferric ammonium nitrate, DDQ. DDQ plays two roles. One to take hydride first, then to take H plus first, right? And then we have also covered manganese based reagents such as KMNO4 or MnO2, which is famous for, such as Virat is famous for cricket, MnO2 is famous for oxidizing allylic and benzylic positions of your alcohol. And then in week 3 and 4 were on reducing agents. They were of two types, hydride based and H2 based. Wilkinson catalysis, H2P2O2, that is your Adams catalyst. And in H minus, we have seen all sort of reducing agent covering from LAH, sodium borohydride. Have you revised all these slides? Yeah. So, in today's class, let's move ahead of these topic. Last, if you have taken my last class, students, I asked you to solve this important problem. What I have suggested you that if you have hydrazone, right, and in presence of acidic condition, H plus from here, it will transfer its D minus to this activated hydrogen. Okay, so you get this NH with this. Now this CH3CO negative, this will act as a base, yes or no? That will abstract proton from here. This negative charge will go there and will remove tocine, and you get this. Now, this substrate is ready for 1,5 sigma tropic shift. Okay, how? See, 1, 2, this height of, sorry, 1,5 sigma tropic shift. So, this is your atom number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so in this way, basically, it transfers its uh, hydrogen. Okay, so my question was, what will be the product in this case? Has anyone solved this? So for that, let me erase above part. Just give me a minute. Okay. First of all, students, see, nitrogen is having 4 bond, and you know that this D has come from this CH3COD, right? So double bond N NHTS. Now, student, the key thing to note here is now this hydrogen is also acidic, and you very well know that in deuterated solvents such as CH3COD, in deuterated solvents such as CH3COD, acidic hydrogens tends to exchange with deuterium, right? So what you will be having here, double bond N D positive N D T S. Is it clear to everyone? This step, yes or no? Now sodium borohydride is there. It will reduce this. Actually, I'm not able to erase. Okay. I hope you have noted till this intermediate. Double bond N D positive N D T S. Okay. Now sodium borohydride will deliver H negative and it will transfer here. Okay. And you will be getting N D N D T S. Okay. Now again your base will abstract this deuterium and will transfer and will remove this TSD. Correct? And then it will follow 1 5 sigma tropic shift. To which direction it will go? 1 2 3 4 5, or 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4 5. Obviously this side is more. Here deuterium will come and you will be getting this system and N2 will liberate. Okay, so this is the answer. Okay, the next question for today's problem solving session is correct combination of reagent which can carry out the following conversion. So students, you are having cyclohexenone. So basically here they want 4 methyl cyclohexanone. So to solve these type of problems, you have to do step by step. Okay. Is there anyone in the class? Okay. So first solve option number A. In A it is saying CH3 MgBr then H plus. Okay. Okay. First of all, before doing these problems, let me tell you there are three types of reagents mainly in organic chemistry. Not three types of reagent, three main categories in which you can divide, right? One is your soft nucleophile, hard nucleophile. Okay, basically HSAB principle. Hard acid loves hard base, soft acid loves soft base. And you should know this thing that this is relatively softer position. Softer means amount of positive character is less here compared to this center. So this is your hard center, this is your soft center. And if I have to divide lithium, magnesium and copper, so students, this category is under hard. They give you 1 2 addition product. Remember this thing. They give you 1 2 addition product. And copper gives you 1 4 addition product. Understood? Hard soft. Why? Let me explain you in simple language. See, students, hard soft. Why it is going that hard acid is going to react with your hard base? Because hard acid means it is having that much intense positive character, intense poor. He is intense poor. Okay, so let's say you are having in your area there is intensely poor person, right? So who can help him in a better way, a more rich person or a middle class person? Obviously a rich person can help him in a better way because he has those extra money. So in a similar way in chemistry also, hard acid goes with hard base and soft acid goes with soft base. So here students, lithium, your magnesium is your Grignard reagents, lithium is such as butyl lithium. So what happens, these are your harder nucleophiles, right? So they, harder nucleophiles means intense negative character, so they will obviously go to intense positive character. That is who is more electron deficient among these two carbons attached to oxygen, and this is your 1 4. This is bit at distance, right? So therefore 1 2 addition products are predominant in case of lithium and magnesium, and in presence of copper you have to do 1 4 addition. Clear? Okay. So this was the theory part for this problem session. Now let's move to solution. Okay. So in first step, after 1 2 addition, they are adding H plus also. So methyl will attack and it will be H plus, right? Now comes H2SO4 heat. What happens in presence of H2SO4 heat? Obviously, this H2SO4 will protonate this, carbocation will form here. Can you do any type of rearrangement here? No, because it is allylic as well as 5 hyperconjugation, right? So this is your intermediate which in presence of heating will undergo elimination from this side or this side. In 6 membered ring, your endocyclic bond will be more stable. Now hydrazine hydrate, there is no use of any hydrazine hydrate here, right? Okay, so A option is deleted. Yes or no? Now let's go to B option. Student, in B option, this is your Gilman reagent, okay? This is your Gilman reagent, which do 1 4 addition. 1,4 addition of methyl, okay, and then O negative. And then H plus means this will come back. Okay. Then comes sodium borohydride, which will reduce this ketone. And in presence of H2SO4 heat, it will again go elimination from, actually it will form this side. This is more thermodynamically stable product. Yes or no? 2 to 4 hyperconjugation. Let's say here double bond forms 2 and 1, 3 hyperconjugation. So this is major product in case of B, which is again wrong. Third comes CH3Li, then H plus PCC heat. Okay. I have to erase some of it. If you look at option number 3, let me draw for you. On addition of CH3Li, it will do 1 2 addition. You all know that magnesium and lithium will do 1 2 addition. Now this substrate is set for Babler's oxidation, yes or no? So basically you will be getting directly this product, and I'm not going to tell you the mechanism for this. We have discussed in our first problem session that this will form first chromate ester that will undergo 3,3 sigma tropic shift, which will give you this intermediate, not, and the required product. So C option is exactly correct. Now let's attend option number D also. NaBH4 CeCl3, that is your Luce's reagent. Okay, is it correct? Not. How this methyl will come here? Okay, then it is there MnO2. Good. Allylic oxidation, right? Then addition of CH3Li. Okay, not benzene, but it is not the required product. So only correct answer is C. I hope you are clear with each of the option and you are convinced that option C is correct. So this is a clear application of your reducing agents, oxidizing agents, as well as reagents based on lithium. Yes or no? If yes, then take 30 seconds time and do this question. You are having this alpha beta unsaturated ketone. Tell me the major product of the reaction. Here you have to see whether it will do 1 2 addition or 1 4 addition. pH MgBr and is your copper bromide. What they will form actually? Tell me. Students, always remember or write in your notebook, whenever Grignard reagent is with copper 1 halides. It tends to form your it tends to make your phenyl grignard softer. Softer means 1,4 addition. Homework is tell me the reaction pH MgBr plus copper Bar will give you which reagent which acts here as a softer nucleophile. So I have already told you that it will do 1,4 addition. So phenyl will attack here, this will attack here, and this will go there, right? So what you will be having after that, student, they are writing you are having methyl iodide. So this bond will come down, and here you will be having methyl. Yes or no? Correct? So which option is having this option? Quickly. Option A. Deleted. Why? No double. This double bond is intact. How are they reducing it? In this MECH2PH, everything is good, but from where this comes? So only correct option is option number. See, very much confusing option C and D. But you know that is CH2PH. That is C. Clear? Good. If clear, tell me the solution to next problem. Take 30 seconds time. Just give me a minute, students. Okay. So take some time and think. In previous slide, what I have explained you in detail. Grignard reagent is given with copper 1 halides, right? It will do 1,4 addition. I will not write the below part. Okay. Now the question comes 1,4 addition. This is a dash. Upcoming nucleophile will come from opposite direction. Okay. Like this. Now you are having this allylic bromide, so it will do. Clear? Now question comes, what will be the stereo of this center? Okay, so this is the problem. Reagents applied to stereo. So which option can you delete easily? This can't be your answer. This is a dash, this will be a dash. Me is at wedge, okay. So now the incoming electrophile will come from opposite to this methyl, right? So correct answer is option number B. I hope I am clear to you. Clear? First, this isopropyl group is dictating stereo of incoming nucleophile, and after that, that nucleophile is dictating stereo of that incoming electrophile. Good. Okay. Now let's read something. Then we will solve problems. So what it is written over here that direct proton abstraction to form aryl lithium species is possible with a suitably substituted aromatic compound. Okay. Suitably substituted aromatic compounds means you should having a group G which should be directing group. Now you may ask, ma'am, which all groups are directing group. So I have given here the list. Please go through them. SO2NR2, OCCONR. So all these groups are directing groups. Directing means, let's say you are having these groups and these are your ortho hydrogens. So students, what they actually do is, let's say you are having OMe and here is hydrogen. If lithium coordinates with this oxygen, actually acidity of these hydrogens increases, right? Acidity increases means H plus will lose and here carbon ion will come. Okay, so this is your ortholithiation. Carbon ion will come means it will be your lithium will attach here. Okay, so let's read this. Direct proton abstraction to form aryl lithium species is possible with a suitably substituted aromatic compound. Good. The substituent requires a heteroatom, okay, to coordinate to the butyl lithium basis and direct the proton abstraction, which is also known as complex induced proximity effect. Okay. So these all the things I have taken from Carey authors. You can also go through that book. Very good book for reagent chemistry. In aromatic compounds, such as this directed metallation occurs at ortho position to the substituent. What they are saying that in this aromatic case, it directs abstraction of these ortho protons, right? Therefore, also referred to as ortholithiation. A wide variety of directing groups have been used in organic chemistry. Okay, the base used for important thing. Don't always if you have these type of substituted aromatic benzene, don't think that it will always do ortholithiation. For that base, important bases are reported with N or S secondary butyl lithium in THF or diethyl ether as a solvent. Okay, often in the presence of chelating agent TMEDA. An example is the alkylation of diethyl benzamide, okay, diethyl benzamide with iodomethane to give the product. Okay, that I will show you as a problem. Okay, after doing too much discussion on that, can you tell me major product formed in the following reaction? There are two positions. Position A, position B. Which is more prone to your which is more prone for proton abstraction? Okay, let me ask you other way around. At which position that carbon ion will be more stable? A or B? Student, both the carbon ions are on sp2 carbon, right? Now you have to see this, if this group. This group is having which type of inductive effect? Why? As if you recall, on benzene also we used to see inductive effect, not mesomeric effect, because this negative charge is not in the plane of this ring. For getting resonance, that atom should be, or that charge should be in plane of the ring. Okay, CH3 is plus I, so this negative charge should be away from plus I. So this is sterically accessible, as well as this carbon ion is more stable. So one thing is clear, lithiation will not occur here at all. So option A gets deleted. Option number B, yes, possible. Option number C, not possible at all. CH2NH2. In DMF, it can't give you CH2NH2. But if you look at option, this option is not available to you, CHO here. So this is the clear indication of the, if the options are made like this, then to you have to do this only. Because here the sole idea of examiner is whether you know about ortholithiation. But you, if there are two options among this and this, I would be answering that this would be more appropriate, or I will do literature and get back to you, right? But I hope you understood, because if you look at options, option B is most uh, exact. I hope you all know the structure of DMF. Dimethyl formamide. Form because HCO, amide. Okay, this negative charge will attack here, O negative will come back and eliminate this, and then dimethylamine. Understood? So this question is based on students what we have covered in previous weeks. Okay, how to approach these type of problems. First, write or see different functional groups. Okay, you are having ester, you are having acid. So here what has been reduced? Acid, not ester. Okay. So if we talk about B2H6H2O, okay, we will come back to this reagent later. LiAlH4. This tends to reduce everything under the sun, so this can't be true. Same as with this Hi red phosphorus. CH3OHNO. This will become sodium ethoxide with release of H2. Yes or no? And this is base. It can't. Only available option is B2H6 followed by H2. Why? Because you very well know that students in electrophilic hydride source such as dibyl H and your BH3, basically they first coordinates with your carbonyl. Okay. Now it become boron negative. It transfers hydrides to this. So in this reduction, your first step is coordination with this oxygen. Now among ester oxygen and acid oxygen, which oxygen is more Lewis basic? Acid. Acid carbonyl is more Lewis basic. Therefore, option A is correct. Understood? Okay. So your next problem is, students, in the given reaction you are given cyclohexene, first NBS followed by attack of magnesium, then followed by subsequent addition of CO2 followed by acidic hydrolysis. Tell X. Take 30 seconds time and do this problem. Okay, time up. Let's solve. Students, NBS is given to you. Okay, if NBS is given to you in any protic solvent, it will release that bromine. Okay, and that can form bromonium here. But if simple NBS is there, it will do allylic bromination. Now you may ask, ma'am, it will do both side or one side? It will do. Okay, we will decide based on option, but for right now, only one allylic bromination. Second possibility is here. If at all it happens. So your A product is this. NBS used for allylic bromination. What is NBS? N bromosuccinimide. Sorry. This is your N-bromosuccinimide. So basically, students in presence of photolytic condition, basically it releases your bromine radical. Okay. So bromine radical will go to which stable radical position is here. This allylic radical can be formed here, which led to formation of this allylic bromide, which in presence of magnesium bromide will undergo insertion between this carbon bromine bond, right? Then in presence of CO2, COO negative. After I said acidic hydrolysis, it will become COH. So the correct and most appropriate answer is option number D. I hope you have understood. How many mole of RMGX required for the following reaction? This is your NAT type question, students. Numerical based. What all conversions can you see here? See, at last acidic hydrolysis is done. Okay. Now let's say student, if you add one equivalent, okay, or one mole, one this RMGX is basically carbanion, and carbanions are good bases as well. What is the role of base? To abstract a proton. This is your acidic proton. This is your acidic proton. This is your acidic proton. So 3 moles of RMGX will behave as base. Correct? And then comes CH3 MgBr addition onto here. At first addition, it will become ketone, and at second addition, it will be your alcohol. So, two equivalents are used in nucleophilic addition. So, in total, how many moles of reagents are required? 5. I hope you understood. 3 moles of RMGX are reacting here as a base, and two equivalents are behaving here as a nucleophile, because at first when, okay, let me write for you. I am writing other part as R. You are having RCOCl, and you are having nucleophile. Okay, so that is your RCO nucleophile. Correct. Now if you add one more nucleophile, it will be RCOH nucleophile. So two here, and these three acidic protons are there. So five. Clear? Very easy problem. First read the question carefully. See the what are the requirements of a problem, then attempt the question. Okay. So for today's session, next problem is major product formed in the following reaction is. Right now I have told you. See, for in between ortholithiation, both the groups should be directed. And you know, if this is not a condition, obviously it is more closer position to methyl than this. So ortholithiation will be done here. So in this case, ortholithiation is not done at ortho position. So option A is deleted. Yes or no? Option A is deleted because it will generate aryl here. Okay, done. Now at second position, at second reagent is given CO2. Okay, OCH2, OCH, and you will be getting COH. Correct? So this is wrong. This, both the ortho positions are vacant. One is good, one is okay. Now I have already told you it may have introduced COH here, but CH3 is not a directing group. Okay, so it will do lithiation here and it will attack onto CO2. So option C is more appropriate, or I can say that it is most appropriate. Understood? Okay. Time for problem number 9. Structure of major product in the following reaction. Okay, let's do it one by one. Ma2CuLi is there. Okay, so it will be doing your one for addition. and with this oxygen negative charge will come back and this carbon ion will attack here. So one, two, three, four, five, six. Six. So this is your 6 6 system with a methyl at junction. So option number D is correct. But if you look at option, they may confuse you that B and C may be true. B and C will be true only in case if O negative will attack here. But you should know that this positive charge is not that much great. Basically, it is soft center. So soft attacks onto soft. So correct answer is option number D. I hope it is clear to everyone. Okay. Now let's move to problem number 10. The most suitable reagent to effect the following transformation is. Okay, let's do it again from one by one. Just give me a minute. You take 30 seconds time. I will come back to you. A is your Wolf Krishna reduction, no, type of reduction. Okay, let's see one by one. Okay, before everything, let's go to LiLH, our favorite reagent. First of all, it will LAH will reduce this also. Let's say it is not reducing that. It will transfer hydride from which side? Obviously, it will transfer hydride from this side, and this bond will open. But it will not give you this allylic alcohol. So option C gets deleted. Sodium in liquid ammonia. Okay. B. Let's see B option first. Okay. So this is your. Right now, I have told you in CF3, this is trifluoroacetic acid. It will protonate. They have not given you that, sodium borohydride stuff. But let's say your CF3CO negative is there, right? But first, you have to anyhow reduce this. They have forgot to mention the sodium borohydride. So that will reduce it and you will get an. Oh, sorry. N H N H T S. Okay. So students, now what this will act as a base will which will abstract proton from here. Okay, and then it will go that side and remove your toside. Okay, so what it will lead to formation of N double bond NH. Clear till this point everything? Again, this will act as a base. It will abstract proton from here and it will leave negative charge onto this carbon. Let me explain you again. This will abstract proton. Here negative charge will come. That will go there and it will cleave this bond. And you will be having, just I am writing this as a for sake of understanding. Otherwise it will directly go. Now this will come below and open this epoxide, okay, and you will be getting this. So option B is correct. Only thing is they should also give you sodium borohydride, which they have not given. Okay. Okay, can option number A can do this? Okay, let's see first. You all know very well that double bond and NH2. Okay, this will go here and this will come here and it will open. Okay, let me write directly that. Done. Okay. And let's say this is having hydrogen. Now again proton will abstract proton from here. Not proton, that base KOH. Again negative charge will come here and it will leave here negative charge. But you will only get this product devoid of this deoxygenation. Okay. So what I want to claim from here is that you will, okay, double bond will also come. Yeah. So it can also give you this. So option A is also correct, students. Correct. 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 I was wrong actually. So first it will form hydrazone. Base will abstract proton from here. Negative charge will go there, and first this anion will come back. Open this epoxide. It will become N double bond NH double bond with here like this. Now again proton will abstract again base will abstract a proton from here. Negative charge will go there and break this bond. And you will be getting this allylic alcohol. Clear to you? So the most appropriate or suitable reagent is option number A. Next problem for today's session is the major product formed in the following reaction is. Again, this problem is based on stereo. One thing you should keep in your mind is that these type of substrates, cyclohexene epoxide, or whatever six-membered ring with a double bond in it, they are more stable in their chair form, right? Okay. So right here, one, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. At 1, double bond O is there. Okay. 2, 3, good. 4, good. 5, it is above this tertiary butyl group. 6, nothing is there. Good. Everything good. Now Me2CuLi is there. Obviously, it will do 1 4 addition, not 1 2. Now, if you look at here, this can come from what your nucleophile can come from above position as well as from down position. Okay. Just wait a minute. See, you are having this double bond, right? If if okay, let me take pointer first. Pen. If that bond is coming, if that nucleophile is coming from above position, it has to face these hydrogens, right? And if it come from here, it is having less repulsion. See, you are having this bond and someone is hitting you like this. How it will go? Above or below? Tell me. Basically, if you have gone through your stereo, one will lead to twist board and other will give you chair like transition state. So it will go like that, and your hydrogen will come from which side? Not hydrogen, your methyl. Your methyl will be coming from downside, students. Okay. So the correct answer is option number C. These are wrong because it will not undergo 1-2 addition. So option D is correct. Right? Right or not? Sorry, this I have made wrong. Okay, let me redraw that. Methyl. This T butyl will be above. Okay. CH2 CO. I hope now it is clear to you. So methyl will come from downside. Okay. Next question for you is, this question has been taken from this book. Please go through this very good book for oxidation chemistry. Okay. N-butyl lithium. Here you are not having a aromatic benzene ring with the proper substitution, which can do ortholithation. Other than that, what is the role of N-butyl lithium? It can act as a, okay, base. Base will abstract proton from here. I can write this whole group as R, and you are having R C triple bond CH. After proton abstraction, it will be like C at negative. Okay. Now the only center from where it can attack is this. Most electrophilic. The correct answer is this. So kick here is that butyl lithium is also used as a, not only used as a ortholithation reagent, but also it can act as a base which abstract a sp carbon proton, and you will be getting this proton. Okay. Okay, next question, which I was discussing few slides before. Is my first question to you, is this a directing group? Yes or no? Is this a directing group? Yes, and this also. So when two directing groups are there, obviously the incoming negative charge will form at here, and obviously there are two equivalents of n-butyl lithium. Can anyone tell me why? Because one will go in abstraction of this acidic proton, okay, and then it is going to attack your diphenyl acetone. Hmm. Not exactly that. That name is not there, but let me. This negative charge will attack COH, PH, PH. So after that, what it will do? It will undergo lactonization and will give you this product. Clear? Basically, this will attack here. Oxygen charge will come back and knock off this nitrogen containing group. Okay? Yes or no? So the next problem for you is, in one case, students, it is a very important slide. Please have a look at this. Both the groups are directing. In both the condition, S-butyl lithium is there. Only changes, only thing is, in first case you are adding DMF, but in another case you are not adding any external electrophile. So what it will do? So first is clear. Oh, sorry, both are coming together. So in first case it will do, it will make CHO here, as the answer will show you. But in second case, students, OCON, okay. Now, in presence of secondary butyl lithium, it will abstract a proton from this side. Okay. Don't say, ma'am, it will go to TMADA. No, that is here as a coordinating reagent. Okay. Now, what it can do? Tell me. Basically, students, it will undergo a rearrangement to give you intermediate like this. What you can do is you can directly attack here, it will come back and it will knock off this and you will get this. Basically, it is an intramolecular rearrangement which led to this two substituted phenol. Remember, this is ortholithiation followed by, without any addition of external electrophile. But here this is acting here as a electrophile. The correct answer is both, but you should remember that both the conditions are different. Okay. For more information, you can go to this reference. Just copy, paste in Google, and you will find the answer. Correct? Basically, this is attacked here. One, two, three, four. Four membered. I think that it will go via four membered ring. Okay. Now, this is the question, and this is your second question. I have given you already the solution, but why I kept here this is this. Student, ortholithiation is very easy, that you are doing n-butyl lithium and doing this, okay. But you can see that by doing this, basically ortholithiation followed by addition of an electrophile, you are doing substitution at position number 2 of this furan ring. But what if someone wants to do at position number 3? That is also a problem. So what people has done that they have used 3 bromo. What is this intermediate, not intermediate structure? This is your furan, okay. So this is your 3 bromo furan. So and in presence of n butyl lithium, it will undergo which reaction? It will undergo, students, metal halogen. This is example of ortholithiation, but this is your metal halogen exchange, and it will attack here, and you will be getting the product. So in this one slide only, you can see the two functions of n-butyl lithium. One is your ortholithiation, second is your metal halogen exchange. Okay. Option answers are already there. I forgot to put them as an animation, but take 30 seconds time and solve this question. Okay. So let me explain you this problem. So students, what is happening here is that first of all you are having this. This is a very good problem. Why? Because in first step n-butyl lithium is there, which may perform two functions. Okay, one is metal halogen exchange, another is ortholithiation. Okay, so therefore there are two. Okay, so in first step n-butyl lithium is there. So first, what it will do that it will undergo metal halogen exchange reaction. That will generate here negative charge, and that negative charge will open this epoxide. Yes or no? From less hindered side. Always remember it is opening the epoxide from less hindered side, and you are getting this A. Again it is adding 2.2 equivalent of butyl lithium. See, there are two conditions here. Now you may ask, ma'am, it can do ortholithiation and then it can attack here. But no. Whenever there are conditions like this, you first have to do metal halogen exchange reaction. Okay. So after doing lithiation in that second case, it will do CO2 Li, and you will be having this intermediate. Okay. Now in next step, AC2 acetic anhydride is there. Basically, lactonization will be done from this position, and this is nothing but your TBAF, tertiary butyl ammonium fluoride, which is used for deprotection of these saline groups. Okay, so in this case, they have synthesized this natural product phylodulcin. Okay, so sometime in your MSc type exam, they can give you these they can give you starting material and final, and you have to tell them the intermediates involved in the reaction. Okay. So next question is this: solve. For solving this, I have to give you some information, then you can solve. First, take that information and then start solving. So, students, whenever write it in your notebook, whenever you are having chiral center adjacent to carbon. Okay, there are three models by which you can explain the outcomes. First is your Falcon and second is your Cram scalation model. Third is your Conforth dipolar model. This model is applicable when you are having your neighboring center chiral. Okay, and that neighboring atom should large, medium, small. But any of the groups can't be your heteroatom. Any of these groups should can't be your heteroatom. Okay. Then comes your cram scalation model. If any of the three groups, one is heteroatom. Okay. Then third is your cone for dipolar model that you don't need here. So in that, what you have to do is, students, you know that this magnesium is chelating. This magnesium can chelate with two side as it is bivalent. Okay. So if you draw it in a required projection like this, now adjacent carbon, how you have to place. This large group will be here only, that is C7H50. Smaller group will be here, and this O mom group will be here. Now from here your magnesium can chelate. Yes or no? So this is the perfect model. Now you are adding a nucleophile here. After addition of nucleophile, how it will behave? OH, Me, butyl, C7H15, H, and this is your OMO. Clear? Now C7H15 and Me group are trans to each other. If you look at here, they are trans with respect to this single bond. Okay, so you have to keep one atom constant and other you can rotate. So in order to have C7H15, rotate like in this fashion. So what you will get? Butyl OH Me. Okay, and draw this bond like this. Here comes C7H15. Here comes your O mom. and here comes your hydrogen. So if you draw this on zigzag line in a trans fashion, they are trans here, both are 180-degree. Okay, you can see that how it will go. It will be like this: OH, butyl, hydrogen, O-mone, or this is your alkyl group. Okay. Now, student, what is see this O-mone group and butyl group with respect to this C7H15Me trans are at syn. Okay, so this butyl will be syn to your this coordinating group, and this hydro OH will be at dash. Okay, so I hope this is the correct answer. Yeah, OH is at dash and butyl is at above. Okay. So write these notes first, then you can check answer. I am erasing now this part. This is applicable if you are having chiral center adjacent to aldehyde. Okay. So next question is this: you are having this Weinreb and on subsequent addition of this Grignard, what will be the product? Tell me, students. Now you have done enough questions on this, but I have given you answer in my this line also only. What happens, student? There is one drawback of addition of Grignards on ketone. What if you are having, let's say, oh sorry, if you are having this R, oh, if you are having, let's say, RCOM, okay. If a nucleophile like Grignard is there, what happens is it forms RCOH nucleophile. Okay. Now let's say if you are having some ester group, what nucleophile is do actually? RCO nucleophile. Again it is there. Again it adds on to ketone. So chemist thought what should be the solution for this problem? What if they want the reaction to stop here? By using temperature also they can't control it. So what they have done is they have formed this Weinreb using this ester. If in this ester you add NHMe, NHMe, OMe dot HCl, you will be getting this Weinreb, okay, and also IPR MGBR. Basically, this act as a nucleophile and it forms your Weinreb. Now, the key or what I would say kick in this question is Weinreb reactivity is more than your ester for Grignard attack. Okay. The correct answer is the addition of N6H3 on Weinreb, which stops the reaction at ketone. Understood? Which stops the reaction at ketone. The next good question for you is, oh sorry. First they are adding C, Grignard, but with copper 1 halide. So it will act as a soft. I'm again repeating this thing. If you are having Grignard reagent along with copper 1 halides, it will make your nucleophile softer. Softer means it will do 1,4 addition. Oh, sorry. Again, my bad. Let's go one by one. TMSCL is also there, students. Now there are two centers. This is oxygen, this is carbon ion. Okay. Remember, student, this is TMS chloride. Okay. Silicon with trimethyl groups with chloride. Positive charge here is a hard center. This is your hard base. So it will be doing OTMS. Basically, it will be preferring O alkylation over your C alkylation. So this is the correct answer. Clear? So this is your O silicon amide. I hope it is clear to everyone who is watching my video. Correct? Okay. Now let's move to problem number. I think it's last problem. Okay. Student, very important concept. Please be with me on this slide. Please note in your notebook. Let's say you are given RCO2Me and a Grignard reagent. You all know that it undergoes nucleophilic attack. Basically, it forms tertiary alcohol as well, right? But if you use these metal catalysts such as FeCAC or any nickel based catalyst, always remember Grignard reagents, Grignard reagents in presence of metal catalyst undergoes coupling. That is, it will undergo coupling with this oxidative addition onto this aryl chloride bond, and then so basically your product will be this. And after that, this was their first step, and after second step they were doing basic hydrolysis as well, which I forgot to write. So basically kick here is that if this FeCAC is not there, this Grignard reagent will add on to this ester. But since FeCAC is there, it will undergo coupling. In next class, and this is your Kumada coupling. In next class, I want mechanism from your side. Okay. So I hope it is clear to you, right? So let's revise what all the concepts we have covered in today's class. We have come to end for today's problem session. This problem that I have told you in last class also, students. First, tosyl hydrogen will be activated in presence of acid. Acid is there with you. This is not followed addition. NABD4 and CH3COH are added in same port, right? So first, it will activate your hydrazone. It will become iminium, and iminium will be reduced by your NABD4 or NABH4. Then that acetate ion which leaves this molecule will act as a base, and in presence of base it will abstract a proton, and in presence of base it will abstract a proton from here, which will go there and will remove this tosyl group, and you will be with this intermediate. Okay, now what happens is that it transfers hydrogen. How? Via 1,5 sigma tropic shift. So this bond will go there, and this bond will go there, and this hydrogen will come here. Basically, if you are having alpha beta unsaturated ketone under this condition, you will be having double bond between that alpha beta unsaturated ketone. Okay, from these type of problems, it is very clear that you should have sound knowledge of all the oxidizing reagents, reducing reagents. Then you can apply reagents based on magnesium, which famously magnesium based reagents are Grignard. There are reagents based on lithium. You can use lithium as a base, such as alkyl lithiums are very good base, such as n-butyl lithium. Along with that, they can use also as a nucleophile. Lithium and magnesium are hard nucleophiles. So basically, they undergoes 1,2 addition rather than 1,4. Copper based reagents are soft. They undergo 1,4 addition. One more thing which I would like to mention here is that whenever alkyl lithiums and alkyl magnesium bromides are there with you in presence of any copper salt, that is copper 1 halides, it becomes softer nucleophile, and softer nucleophile undergoes 1,4 addition. Common mistake which students make is they see on arrow, oh, PHMGBr is written, so they directly take 1,2 addition product. But make sure you read on arrow that along with that Grignard, a copper halide salt is also there. Okay. For example, in this question. So don't in hurry. Actually, here there is no option in which they have to 1 to addition. But still, you should keep this thing in your mind. Again, 1 for addition followed by attack of this carbon ion onto this electrophile. Basically, this attack is SN2. Okay. So obviously SN2 attack will be from less hindered. So adjacent methyl is there. So anywhere if you encounter these type of molecules, so stereo deciding group are these alkyl group substitution on cyclopentenones. So in presence of N-butyl lithium, there are these two possible proton abstraction places, which can now, after ortholithiation, it can attack onto this DMF molecule, which can give you this product. I was explaining in my lecture that it can abstract from here as well, and according to me, my opinion, that abstraction should be here if there are two options available. Okay, and CHO will be here. But from available option, this is most accurate. For this, you should be very clear about reactivity of all the carbonyls starting from your carbonyl chlorides ending to amides. That nucleophilic hydride goes from acid chloride to acid chlorides to amides. But your electrophilic hydride source such as diol H, BHC, they undergo reaction in most reactive for them is amide, acid, ester, ketone, then aldehyde. Okay. Then in numerical type answer, they may ask you how many mole of RMGX. So you should know that Grignard reagents also act as a base. They can pick up acidic hydrogen from your compound. So if anyhow there is acidic hydrogen present in your compound, you have to add that extra mole of that Grignard reagent, right? Okay. Then comes secondary butyl lithium. Role of secondary butyl lithium is to abstract a proton from this position, and it will attack onto your CO2. Under in presence of H plus, it will give you the proton. Okay. Then comes your Me2CuLi. Again it will do 1,4 addition, and that carbon ion which will come back after going from oxygen, it can attack intramolecular as well. These are reactions. N-butyllithium, three functions: ortholithiation, right? Metal halogen exchange. Third, acting as a base. One reagent, multiple functions. You have to be alert in these cases. Grignard, again, Grignards can act as a base, and it can act as a nucleophile. So this is all from my side. If you have any doubt, if you have doubt in this Falconans, Cram's chelation model, Confort, basically here this magnesium is chelating, right? And in Falconan model, you have to keep large group here, small group here, middle group here, nothing else. Then you can decide the stereo. Still, if you have any doubt, you can ask me. You can write it in comment section. Again, here, kick from this slide is Weinreb amides can stop your reaction to ketone or aldehyde. They will not move to your alcohol. Another principle which you have learned today is HSAB principle. Harder acid will go to harder base, softer acid will go to your softer base. Most important take home message from today's slide. If if ester is reacted with the Grignard in presence of nickel or iron based metal catalysts, they will undergo coupling reaction rather than nucleophilic addition. Again repeating, they will undergo coupling reaction rather than nucleophilic addition. Okay. So this is all from my side. Okay. If someone is really watching my videos, I will suggest you please attend my live sessions. It will be better for you. Okay.